So the elements of a good research question should reflect theoretical rationale or the hypothesis. It should specify the population to be studied, should specify the treatment, intervention, exposure under study, specify the nature of the comparison, and specify the outcome and timing of the outcome measurement. To summarize these, there is a model that is called PICOT or PICOT model. Each of these alphabets, PICOT, represent key components of a research question. A good research question should have all these 5 components. What are those components? It should have the population under study. I stands for intervention. C is the comparison. O is the outcome. T is the time. Okay? So a research question should specify the population under study. What is the intervention that you are focusing on? What is the comparison group? Your intervention or new intervention compared to what? Standard care or another intervention, or to control, no care? What is the outcome? Outcome is prognosis. Outcome is reduction in the adverse effects or the effectiveness. And time, how much, what's the duration for the outcome to occur? Here is an example that will clarify this model or these elements. So this question is stated as, among adults with hypercholesterolemia, does combination therapy with ezetimibe with atorvastatin compared to atorvastatin alone significantly reduces LDL cholesterol levels in 12 weeks? So when we read this, although this is one sentence, but this is a comprehensive, a standalone research question that gives vital information about the whole research project, because we have the population here, which are the adults with hypercholesterolemia. That is our population. Intervention under study is the combination therapy. Comparison is the standard care or the statins, which are prescribed as a single medication. Outcome is lowering cholesterol level, and the duration is 12 weeks. And that indicates that your research study, and if it is a prospective clinical trial, then it is going to be a follow-up of 12 weeks. So when we start developing a research question, it is important to have not only think about that research question in your mind, but to write that down on a piece of paper. Yeah, there is a typo, it should be paper. Helps to clarify thoughts, tool for feedback, and to generate interest. Because if we do not have that written either on your computer or on your paper or on a piece of paper, we cannot clarify, we cannot make edits, we do not know what we were thinking about. Your thought process should be written on paper. Then get good advice. You can get that advice from your research study team. Those can be senior scientists who are content experts, or others with expertise beneficial to the study. The third is to allow the question to emerge. There is a lot of back and forth, looking at your research idea, study design, and coming back to the research question, getting feedback, reviewing it, getting it reviewed, and then revising it many times. So although research question is a single statement, mostly it's one sentence, but it takes much longer time because it requires lot of iterative process. In summary, for the tips for developing research question, I have used this text from one of the studies or one of the articles that is published, and it's included in the reference. So in summary, we perform a systematic literature review, learn about current trends and technological advances on the topic, seek careful input from expert mentors, colleagues, collaborators to refine the research question, use the finer criteria in the development of research question, ensure that the research question follows PICOT or PICOT format, develop a research hypothesis from the research question, develop clear and well-defined primary and secondary objectives, ensure that the research question and objectives are answerable, feasible, and clinical relevant. And another quote that I liked from one of the published papers is that there is a fine line between knowledge and between new knowledge and ignorance, and how we can make that demarcation between new knowledge and ignorance is with the help of literature review, okay, to study the published research. Here are some of the references. I would like to thank my colleagues, Dr. Julie Stoner and Dr. Sarah Wesley, whose slides I adapted for this session. And also here are some of the references that are helpful, and a link to the website for OSCTR, where we have most of the resources available.